What's going on, motivators? We've got another video. We got an update on Eric Swalwell. Democrats Nancy Pelosi and Jeffries are calling for him to drop out. Let's get into this.
Let's get right to it with Chanley Painter, who has more. Chanley.
Hey, good morning. So the California congressman has now taken to social media, denying the accusations of rape and sexual misconduct. Watch.
These allegations of sexual assault are flat false. They're absolutely false, and I will fight them with everything that I have. I have certainly made mistakes in judgment in my past, but those mistakes...
We know which mistakes and judgments they've made. Messing with that Chinese spy, Fang Fang, we all know about that.
...are between me and my wife, and to her, I apologize deeply for putting her in this position.
Like I mentioned before in a previous video, this is pretty damning because this is staffers. This is pretty damning because his staffers are calling that he had sexual misconduct with them, or allegations so far.
You heard the dad of 3 apologize to his wife of 9 years. He also apologized to his constituents. And it all comes after multiple women came forward lodging allegations, including a former staffer who claims he raped her in 2024 when she was intoxicated, and also claimed that in 2019 she woke up naked next to him in a hotel room. Watch.
5 of us were having some drinks. At some point, it was time to go home. I got in an Uber. I was taken to the Aloft Dublin Pleasanton where he was staying. I don't remember what happened that night, but I know that there was sexual contact because when I woke up in the morning, I could feel that there was.
Now, although I want Eric Swalwell to go down, I am not of the fantasy where like Democrats believe all women. Could they have went out for real? Yes. Could there have been something that was planned with this woman and now she's ashamed? Possibly. I don't know. But I leave it up to the courts versus the court of public opinion to judge Eric Swalwell.
According to CNN, at least 3 other women also accused Swalwell of sexual misconduct, ranging from unwanted touching to unsolicited nude pictures by Swalwell. And now Democrats are coming out in force, yanking their endorsements of him for California governor and demand...
That's the thing, though. You could always go back and contact Trey as far as personal requesting photos. If he denies that, you have the receiving end. If that person brings that... If that other person brings the actual proof, the receipt that the request was made from his phone, he's done.
He dropped out of the race. Former Speaker Nancy Pelosi saying, quote, "This extremely sensitive matter must be appropriately investigated with full transparency and accountability. As I discussed with Congressman Swalwell, it is clear that is best done outside of gubernatorial campaign." The House Democrats...
Man, this is kind of pressing. I would never believe Nancy Pelosi would have come out, but they're coming in full force. Eric Swalwell is done. If all the higher leadership is saying he should be removed, he's going to be removed. And yet to remain, he's the leading candidate for the governor of California. What's going to happen now? It might be a free-for-all. So Republican, we might have a chance. We might everybody come out in droves to ensure that we win that governorship of California. I think the doors are being left open right now. But don't forget, we have a Democrat machine which pretty much ran the entire California. But the doors are being open and a lot of chances are being made for Republicans.
Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries saying, quote, "Following the incredibly disturbing sexual assault accusations, we call for a swift investigation into these incidents and for the congressman to immediately end his campaign to be California's next governor." Jeffries' statement was met with some backlash online for not asking Swalwell to also step down from Congress. Guys, back to you.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. That's the thing with Democrats. Remember Virginia. The guy called for the assassination of his opponent, and they didn't do anything. So I'm kind of alarmed right now. I'm very alarmed that they're actually telling Eric Swalwell to kind of pull back. But remember what just happened. They didn't tell him to step out. They're kind of saying pull back a little bit. Democrats are very sneaky because they know they have to say something pertaining to what's going on because they're going to deem hypocrites but they're not really saying to step out of the race exactly, because they're hoping, what if it could blow over a little bit? Blow over, yes, we might still have a chance. Democrats are all about power and not about doing the right thing. I can tell you that much.
And those are some headlines indeed. Wow.
Yeah, quite a story.
Right.
Full transparency and accountability. As I discussed outside of a gubernatorial Pelosi, what jumped out at me is, as I discussed with Congressman Swalwell, this is best done outside of a gubernatorial campaign. To me, that is her publicly saying to Congressman Swalwell, I'm putting you on blast. I'm letting everybody know I talked to you, and you better get out of the race. So,
again, I don't think she wants him to get out of the race. She's protected herself and her image as far as sexual misconduct happening in other areas. You guys didn't say anything about it. Now, one of your own, what will you do? So they're trying to jump the narrative. They don't want him to drop out. They do not want Eric Swalwell to drop out. He is the leading candidate for the governor of California. That's going to be a free-for-all in California if he drops out. I hope he does after everything that's being mentioned, but they need to go out and do a valid presser and said, drop out of the race. Remember, they were very firm on Donald Trump and every allegations, drop out, drop out. This one is kind of murky. They're not really saying drop out, more of a protection of their own selves.
to your point, the pressure that is coming to bear on Congressman Swalwell, if there was one person who could knock him out of the race, it's her.
Right, and the question that I have, though, is they're basically unanimous calls for him to exit the race. And to your point, Jonathan, there's no greater, more central figure in California politics than Nancy Pelosi, and her words carry meaning. The question is, will we start hearing calls from him to resign from Congress?
What have you heard from members of Congress?
I haven't heard that. We've heard from Democrats.
That's the thing. They're not saying anything yet. It's one of those things they're also hoping it could be brushed under the rug.
Again, scores of his closest allies who say he needs to drop out of the race, including Democratic leadership. Notably, they haven't called on him to resign. That statement last night from the top three members of Democratic leadership said we need an investigation, we need him to leave the race. It doesn't say resign. Right now, there are at least three Democrats who have called on him to resign outside of Capitol Hill, Tom Steyer and Katie Porter.
He should resign ASAP. I go back to the same framework that Democrat had, although I don't really believe in it. From their stand of view, believe all women. No, but it doesn't really matter when it's a Democrat.
With his fiercest opponents in the race, and LA Mayor Karen Bass. So I think it's a question of, will we start hearing now from Democrats as this continues to unfold that he needs to leave Congress? And the pressure is going to mount on Capitol Hill. Jonathan, we were talking about this last night. The House returns to session on Tuesday after this 2-week recess. Lauren Boebert says she's going to introduce a resolution to censure Eric Swalwell. Anna Paulina Luna says she's bringing a motion to expel him. Now, will those have the votes? I don't know at this moment. But if that is forced on the floor and there has to be a vote on it, it's going to put Eric Swalwell's colleagues on the record. They're going to have to make a tough decision when they have to cast a vote.
Or not tough decision.
Or not a tough decision.
To me, having been through reporting many a scandal like this has the feel of a 1-2. Calling you to get out of the race, give you some time, and then calls to...
He should be censured, and he should get out of the race.
CNN gave Congressman Swalwell multiple opportunities to respond on camera to Pamela's reporting. I invited him to join us live tonight. He just posted that video online. But why won't he join us to answer the questions directly?
Well, let me start by telling you that we take these allegations very seriously. The congressman categorically denies any misconduct took place.
Does he have any choice but to deny it? Could you imagine he comes out and say, yes, I did it? This makes no sense.
And we intend to vindicate his rights in court.
So when you say that you take them seriously, are you suggesting, and what he just said there was that he made mistakes between me and my wife, I apologize to her deeply. Is he saying that he cheated on his wife but didn't do anything illegal?
I'm not going to get into the details of that. Our investigation is ongoing. A lot of it is privileged. But I can tell you, based on the video that you just played, the congressman takes accountability for potential lapses in judgment, but again, categorically denies any wrongdoing.
Okay, lapse in judgment. He literally just saying he did it. I mean, the attorney, I know he's trying to make sure he has attorney-client privilege, but he pretty much just said that Eric Swalwell did it. He doesn't believe that it was an SA because it was consent.
Why isn't he putting himself out there to answer the questions directly?
Well, he has a campaign to run. He's busy. He's taking these allegations seriously. And again, as he told you in that video, he's spending time with his family and his wife and his friends, and that's his choice.
I'm not sure about having a campaign left to run. This right here is damning. This allegation, like I mentioned in the previous video, is damning. We broke this news about 3 days ago. This allegation is damning. He definitely needs to drop out, and his poll number will tank just before the primary.
So there are now 4 different women who accuse Congressman Swalwell of sexual misconduct. Is your position that all of them are lying?
Look, as an attorney, I look at credibility, I look at motive, and I have to question the timing of these allegations 25 days out from an election. Many of these allegations are from women who claim that the wrongdoing took place many years ago. And
hasn't that been the same position that we've taken for every Republican that have come into power or allegations made against them? And the Democrats kept saying it doesn't matter. Now the attorney is saying the same thing other attorneys have said. But what I find very shocking about what he's saying, one of the allegations just came in 2024. That was not years ago. That was just recently.
in those years, the evidence I've seen demonstrates that these women, certain of them, have reached out to the congressman on multiple occasions, wishing him nothing but the best, supporting his campaign, saying that they'd vote for him for governor, asking for references for jobs, attending social events with him. So from my perspective, looking at the facts, I do have to question the credibility of these allegations.
All right, so I look at it this way, and I maintain the same point of view. Now it's a Democrat. It doesn't matter if a Republican. We cannot have judgment in the court of opinions. Those kind of allegations are very serious allegations. Those things need to be vetted properly with the right person as far as an attorney in court. Find out all the differences, whether those allegations are true or not, and ensuring that Eric Swalwell gets a proper hearing. He should definitely drop out in the meantime while these proceedings are going, but this cannot be judged, and we saying that he actually did it. This has to be done in court, evidence been brought forward, and we get a real verdict that he committed an essay on multiple women. Let me know what you think. All right, motivators, if you enjoy what you've seen and heard, please like, comment, subscribe, and share a Black veteran's perspective. Stay motivated.